Good afternoon and welcome to the fourth episode of the Hawk Zone. Alongside our starting defensive end and starting center, Jordan Taylor, I'm Brian Moore. Jordan, can you tell us how a week went preparing for the JCM Cougars?
I think our week's been pretty good, Coach. I think we've been doing pretty decent as we prepare to go to Rothrock and take on the Cougars.
Thanks, Jordan. We'll be back in just a second with the highlights from the Bolivar game.
Borrowing. More about connecting than simply plugging in. Whether you want to get involved in your community, find a job, start a business, or simply get ahead, your library card is the key to opportunity. Libraries are transforming. Visit your library this September during Library Card Sign-Up Month and find out how or visit ilovelibraries.org. This message is brought to you by the Jackson City Council and the Southside High School broadcasting class.
Welcome back to the Hawk Zone, Southside High School's football recap show. Coach, Friday night, the guys won their homecoming game. How long has it been since Southside has won a homecoming game?
I really can't remember. I think it's the first time that we've actually not been mercy ruled in a homecoming game in probably 3 years. So I don't even know when the last win would have been.
Let's get straight to the action from the win. First play here, Cade passes the ball over the middle to C.J. Hunt. First play of the game again.
Yeah, we've been a really good job so far this season, starting off on a quick start, and we're glad with that.
Pass over the middle, a screen play to Drew Burney.
Good play across the middle. You know, attacking the middle of the field is a lot of high school teams don't do, so we're trying to definitely expose that.
Okay. I think we're gonna show that again. Maybe not. Nope.
Nice scrambling job. A scramble drill by Cade.
Touchdown.
Throwing to Cordier. He walks it in.
Hawks go up 6-0. Like you said, a good scrambling job. Cordier, what kind of route was he running there?
He was running backside post, and luckily enough, he got behind their defender because at the end, Cade kind of floated the ball a little too far.
Bolivar on offense, throwing the ball down the middle of the field.
They definitely answered right back, and that's worries you a little bit. You hope your defense will keep composure there at the beginning of the game and try to settle in and make them force the ball downfield slowly. And they just ran through us like water right there. So right now we're thinking we're in for a battle, but that's going to happen during homecoming when you got all kinds of distractions, especially when it's homecoming and you got a short week of practice.
Next possession for the Hawks.
Again, we've done this 6 or 7 times this year. It's not really a called play. They just won't cover Cordier, so we're going to take what they give us. Simple.
Run play from Tyreek.
And of course, you know the pass game opens up the run because they put more people in coverage, so there's less people in the box to stop the run. So we'll take what they give us again.
After the 2-point play, you're leading 14-6, and Bolivar's down the field again.
Yeah, and of course, this is right after it's getting dark. This is right after Drew went down, so we kind of lost our composure a little bit because we weren't sure if we could actually compete without him.
14-12 Southside. After that play, high snap, of course.
Yeah.
Cade over to Tyreek, breaks a couple tackles.
He did a good job keeping his balance there and not going down on first contact.
Same possession, touchdown to Jay.
And they just stunted, and we sent our tailback right up the middle, wide open, easy pickings. That view's going to be better than this week because we fixed the pan head.
21-12 Southside, and Bolivar takes it back in to make it 21-18.
Yeah, Ty Bain just got a little over antsy and didn't get to take a good look. Tried to contain when the end had containment, and we paid for it.
I think the end might have went inside there too. So at halftime, your Hawks were leading 21-18. What adjustments were there to be made at halftime?
Really just keep playing. Again, when Drew went down, there was, I know, 10 or 12 guys with tears in their eyes, and they really didn't. If I gave them an option, they would have went home. They didn't want to play, but finally they came back toward the middle of the third quarter, and we stuck out a long drive to start the third quarter, so it ended up better than it looked like it was going to be with 2.5 minutes into the game when he went down.
How is it losing the second leading receiver in West Tennessee due to a leg injury?
Well, for us, we can't really answer that yet because we won't know that until tomorrow and see how it is without him. But for now, we just moved a couple people around. We had a good transfer come in from Kentucky, which is always nice when you have a guy that's over 6 foot tall and that can run fast come in. So we're just going to plug in and go.
That's all for the first half of highlights. We'll be right back after this short commercial break with the second half.
What's happening in libraries today? They're more about doing than borrowing, more about connecting than simply plugging in. Whether you want to get involved in your community, find a job, start a business, or simply get ahead, your library card is the key to opportunity. Libraries are transforming. Visit your library this September during Library Card Sign-Up Month and find out how, or visit ilovelibraries.org. This message is brought to you by the Jackson City Council and the Southside Broadcasting class.
Welcome back to the Hawk Zone. Coach, towards the end of the second half, you were a little frustrated with the guys. Why?
End of the second half or first?
End of the second half.
End of the second half. There toward the end, we had some miscues. Went out for victory offense there the last couple snaps and only had 8 people, which obviously you can't do that with just 8 people. We had a lot of people that were just wanting to quit again. I don't know if they're feeling sorry for themselves, but there were several times we got out there and only had 10 people on the field, so that's not going to work.
You felt your team didn't finish the job towards the end of the fourth quarter?
True. Yeah, and on the scoreboard it looks like we finished, but there's a lot of things, miscues at the end. You know, you only get so many snaps of high school football, and each one of these kids ought to take advantage of each and every one of those snaps. And because they're always numbered, they could get hurt any day, as Drew knows from now. So just wish they'd take more opportunity, or take more advantage of more opportunity of playing time.
Let's get straight to the action from the second half. Come out and the run game was really working.
Yeah, we're trying to get on the perimeter there in the first half, and they started containing it, so we had to get some cutback lanes in several of our. So we kind of changed the play at halftime and ended up working pretty well for us.
The score here to make it 27-12, or 27-18, I'm sorry. Is that Jay or Tyreek who run that one in? I think it was Jay. Here's a cutback by Tyreek on that.
Yeah, and Tariq's big stat I've talked about all year is the yards after contact, and he has a lot of those.
Another run for a touchdown by Tyreek to make it 33-18. Good job by Tyreek there. Moving on, Bolivar down the field. Sack.
Yeah, after a while, you know, with their offense only having 2 receivers in the pass routes, except for a few of these here, it almost seemed to me like their quarterback kind of quit. And then once he got a little pressure, he'd just turn around and wait for somebody to take him down. And he's the coach's son. He shouldn't be that soft.
Another touchdown with C.J. Hunt, from Cade to C.J. Hunt.
So I think ranked fifth play of the week by Duke BBJ. Nice reach, extension, especially for a kid that's shorter. And not only the first down, but the score.
And of course, victory offense that sealed the win
Yeah.
to make it 39-18. Your Hawks over the Bolivar Tigers.
And it is what it is.
Were you pleased with the victory?
I was. It's always good to be undefeated, but I mean, that's one thing. You know, the thing going in this week is all these papers, the people that sell all these newspapers got us rated 10th in the state, but they don't really have an effect because you got to understand their perspective. Being East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, they hear a 1-9 team starting off 4-0, they're going to rate us really high. But if you look at the computer rankings, we're still ranked like 32nd, which is the more appropriate number, I think. And in the overall state, we're still 199.
We're going to now talk about some key players from Friday night's game. We're going to start out with some offensive stats. Of course, Tyreek, 19 rushes, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A big game by him.
It was. Again, yards after contact, he had a slew of them. I know at least half his yards was after contact. And, of course, as long as he can stay healthy, he's got a little bit of a banged-up ankle this week, so hopefully we can keep him healthy.
I figured it up, and he was averaging about 7 yards per carry, him and Jay both.
Well, that's just a testament to the offensive line doing a heck of a job moving those guys out of the way. I mean, that's all we got to say there. That's what it is.
Cade Willingham, 18 for 30, 275 yards, 60% completion rate, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, that interception before halftime.
Yeah, 60% completion rate's a good one. I didn't know it was that high, but that's a heck of a job by him. And it seems to be like a weekly thing he does. And, of course, Jay Thorpe there below, he got some more yardage he's accustomed to getting because he got a few more carries, which is always a good thing for him.
Back to Cade, he broke over 1,000 yards passing just in the first 4 games. How big of an impact has he been on your team?
He's been a huge impact. It's, I mean, whenever you can throw the ball like that, it's always going to open up the run game. So his numbers are high, which correlates to the running backs' numbers being high. And of course, their numbers being high helps him out again because they don't know what to defend. You defend the run or the pass, and it just opens everything up for everybody.
Cordier with 7 receptions for 121 yards and a touchdown.
And again, he did a heck of a job, just like he did last week. Just hope he can stay healthy a little bit. He's got a strained quad right now. We're not sure how many snaps he's going to be able to give us today. He's actually not going to practice today. So we're hoping he can stay healthy and help us out tomorrow night.
C.J. Hunt with 6 receptions, 113 yards, and a touchdown. The receiving core you got is pretty deadly.
It is. That's good to have. You know, years and years, Southside's been known as a run team. And when you run the ball, 90% of the time or 95% of the time, it's easy for a team to defend that. So when you got 2 guys up there that are almost rushing for 100 yards, you got 2 guys up there, catching balls for over 100 yards, that's something to say about a balanced attack. And it's hard to defend a balanced attack, no matter who's playing defense.
Moving on to defense, just tell us who had big games on defense. I saw where Garrett Evans was Defense Player of the Week.
He was Defense Player of the Week. He didn't have many solo tackles, but he ended up with, I think, 9 assists. Or I might be wrong, it might be 10. We also, of course, Jay and Tariq always have a good game playing linebacker as long as the defensive line does their job. Kind of like on offense, the O-line blocks and then running back get all the glory. Defense works the same way. Defensive line plugs up the gaps, linebackers get all the glory and get all the stats. So that was good. Just wish we could defend the pass a little bit more. With only 2 receivers in most of the routes, we did give up a lot of routes there. But
let's move on to the Player of the Weeks. If we can get a Player of the Weeks for
offense, it was
week.
Cordy Kenny.
There we go. Player of the Weeks. No, it was Tyreek.
Oh,
Tyreek
I'm a week behind.
with 19 rushes, 130 yards, I believe. Good job on offense by him, of course.
It was again. Ankle's a little banged up right now. And our practice player of the week was Tedrick Hughes. Again, he transferred in from Kentucky. We're glad to have him. He's going to try to fill Bernie's role as best he can. CJ's big play was that long extension that he got on WBJ, and of course he does a heck of a job. He's probably got the best hands on the team. And of course, Defensive Player of the Week, Garrett Evans with all those assists.
Well, Coach, how does it feel? I know I've pretty much already hit on this. How does it feel to start 4-0, and how important is it to start 5-0 and also 2-0 in the region if you do win Friday night?
Start's great. You always want a quick start. You just want to keep it going. Don't want to get complacent. Starting 5-0 would be awesome, but again, no matter what happens tomorrow night, the honeymoon section of our schedule will be over after tomorrow night. After tomorrow night, everybody we play will be rated higher than us and will be picked to lose. So, very legitimate shot. Mathematically now we can finish 4-6, but unless we do improve each and every day and each every week, we have a legitimate shot to finish 5-5. But because every team we play is a lot higher rated than us. Not that they're better than us, but that's just the way it is, and that's how the numbers are. And we don't pick the schedule. The schedule is what it is. So, but it feels great right now. Let's just hope we can keep it moving. Probably if we can get 2, possibly 3 of those games, it'll be the first time that I can remember. I guess Will Masood would have been here when we hosted a playoff game. And Miss Tucker is going to be so upset because she'll have to buy a $5,000 play clock to host a playoff game, and it'll be great.
Thanks, Coach. After this short commercial break, we'll preview the Week 5 matchup between the Hawks and the Cougars.
College life is all about discovering new opportunities, new ways of thinking and learning, discovering the latest in technology and innovation. A campus lifestyle that will mold you and help you develop into a well-rounded, successful individual. Start your next chapter in life here at UT Martin Jackson Center. Day and evening classes available, 6 bachelor degrees, North Jackson 45 Bypass, UT Martin Jackson Center.
Coach, just tell us what JCM's got as far as overall speed and things like that.
JCM always has speed. They actually have one of our old basketball players. He wouldn't play for us. I wish he would have when he's here, but Brian Bowers is their starting quarterback. They run spread offense with 4 receivers, and they also run some 2-back stuff. They got a decent amount of speed. They played Brentwood Academy last week, which is ranked 2nd in the state. They lost quite a bit, but again, they've also played South Gibson, Haywood, Northside, and of course those are some very reputable teams, and the scores reflect that. But on paper, they're 0-4, we're 4-0, but we've played a lot of people that were not ranked very high at all, and they've played some stacked teams. So it's their homecoming, so everybody's going to be out there grilling, tailgating. We actually go over there tonight to play a freshman game, so we'll get a little bit of preview of all that setup and everything. But the Rock's going to be rocking, and we hope have a good crowd come out and watch us put on a show, hopefully.
Being that your team, some of your guys do know some of their guys, how important is it to keep them focused on the task at hand tomorrow night?
It is very important. Because knowing another team, though, I think that's an advantage because you can say what you want to about people you don't know, but you don't really know them that well. And you really dig down a lot more, I think, if you actually know the competition and you're not as apt to go out there and go brain dead. You really want to compete against some guys you know just to get that bragging rights for 364 more days.
Thanks, Coach. Do you feel that your team is ready for tomorrow night?
I do. I think we are. I think we are ready. Again, the thought process in mind, just out of 10 years' experience, is they're going to come in, they're going to be in their homecoming, they're going to be a little unfocused, and they'll be 0-4 if we do get up on them a score or two. I mean, we're hoping they start to turn on each other and start to get a little undisciplined and roll them up, but we'll see. And that's why they play every games on Friday and don't play them in the seats here on Thursday with the camera rolling.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll see you next week for highlights of tomorrow night's game and also a preview of your Week 6 matchup. Good luck and go Hawks.
All right.